Hi everyone, Nick Thompson here from NEC, and thanks for joining me again on the SV9100 sales training course. This section is on InHotel. InHotel is available on the 9100 and the SL2100. So we'll take a look and see what InHotel actually is. We'll look at the features and the benefits. I'll give you a quick live demonstration on the application. We'll look at pricing for InHotel, and we'll also see and show you where the useful information is. Okay, so what is InHotel? Well, InHotel is another fantastic built-in application. So it's one of our in-apps, and it's actually our own NEC front of house software, sometimes referred to in the hotel industry as PMS, property management software. So this means that there's no middleware requirement. So in a usual hotel environment, you would have the front of house system, so where they check you in and check you out. You would then have a PC with middleware software on that basically connects the front of house system to the phone system, so they can do things like set wake up calls. Because this is our own built-in application, there is no need for any middleware. So in terms of additional users, because like all our in-apps, it's all browser based, you can have as many users on this system as they need at no additional cost. In terms of room size, on the SL2100 it will support 96 rooms, and on the SV9100 it will support 120 rooms. Okay, so InHotel is a front of house application, so it's used for managing reservations, rooms, housekeeping. It'll provide reports. The target market for this is definitely the 1, 2, 3 star hotels. It's your bed and breakfasts, it's your guest house. In some cases, it can also be used in very, very large country house environments, because although the sites are extremely big, they don't normally have lots and lots of rooms. You know, they're normally 10, 15, 20 maximum rooms, but they could be like a spa hotel. We've also been known to put InHotel into unusual places like residential homes, because even though it's a care or residential homes, they have rooms that are there put aside for visiting family members. We've even put InHotel into campsites, can you believe? Because again, it's a booking system, so they can book out their plots or their pitches. Okay, so that's the kind of the target market. With regards to voicemail, there's total voicemail integration with the existing InMail on the 91 or the SL2100. So what that means is when you check out a guest, if there were to be any messages left on that extension, then it will delete any voicemail messages on checkout. It's extremely cost effective. Again, there's no additional hardware because it's a built-in application. It's easy to install, and you will see shortly when I show you the live demonstration just how easy it is to use. But before we go to the live demonstration, let's have a look at some of the features. So again, the obvious thing is to check in and check out a guest, and they can see the room status just at a glance on the dashboard. So by looking at the dashboard, we can see which rooms are available and which rooms are clean or perhaps need cleaning. You can change the room types. Some rooms are single, some can be twin, doubles, etc., with a view, without a view. You can name the rooms accordingly. And this is effectively a guest CRM, because in a way you add a guest name into the directory, it will store that, so for repeat customers that come back, you don't have to go through the whole thing of setting up a new guest name. There's plenty of different reports that can be printed off for the hotel management. It has a built-in rate table, and as we all know, hotel room rates change. They change all the time. It could be in season, out of season, perhaps an event is on. So the rate table is totally changeable, and it can even be scheduled to a calendar. So at a certain date, that rate can change. Also, outside of the rate table, you can obviously give products prices as well. Things like the minibar in the room or the restaurant or at the bar, you can actually put costs against products. Do not disturb is an obvious one. A customer comes in, or a guest should I say, comes in, and they've just had a long flight and they don't want to be disturbed. From reception, we can busy their phone out and put do not disturb lock on there. Obviously, it will carry things like booking reference numbers, and there's many, many, many more features, some of which I'll show you on the live demonstration. So on that note, let's jump across onto my PC and I'll show you InHotel. Okay, so like all our in-applications, they're accessed via a browser. So I'm going to open up my browser. Along the top here, I've got a shortcut to InHotel. That will take me to my login page where I can now log in. I'll click on there. Click the green tick, and it takes us to the home page, and you can see here's my Edison Hotel. This is my demo system, so obviously there'll be a lot more information if it was a live hotel. And we can see the room calendar view, and we can see the guest view as well. So if I take you to the room calendar, And here you can see the room calendar view. So we have the calendar along the top, we have a view of all the reservations and bookings, and on the left hand side we obviously have all our different rooms. Again, this is my demo system, so there'll be obviously a lot more information if it was a live hotel. You can change the calendar view by clicking on it, and you can jump to today, jump to a certain date range, just show 4 days, or just show 1 week, 2 weeks, or even a month. So here we can see obviously the reservations and all the bookings that we've got, and down the left hand side here we can see all our different rooms, and I'll come back to this section very shortly. So the reservations are in different colours, meaning different statuses. So the dark blue means that they've actually checked in, the green means that it's a reservation and it's been confirmed, and the kind of light blue is just a reservation. To make a booking it's very easy. Just go to obviously the room that you want, and on the date click on there, select new reservation, and you can now choose the date range that you want to go from. So from Thursday the 23rd, let's say they're staying overnight for 1 night, so we click on there and it takes us to the new reservation page. We can choose which booker it was, so if they came in, if it was themselves, or perhaps they phoned in and it was Sarah on reception that took the booking. The guest name is obviously all the existing guests that are in the database already. If it's a new guest that's not in the database and hasn't stayed with the hotel before, then you can click on there and obviously add a new contact, and that'll be saved into the database. It's really also very good feature of the system is that you can add and remove as many of these fields as you want. So you can have, things like nationality. You might want something like the car registration, for example. So these are all editable. Okay, so the guest name there, we'll select an existing guest. Let's say that it's Mary. Number of adults is 1, number of children is 0, thank goodness. Which market they came in by, so either is it leisure, is it business, sports, etc. So we'll say that Mary's on a business trip. Which channel has it come in by, and again walk-in, letter, web is the obvious one, but actually in this case she phoned in and spoke to reception and they booked it. And again you can have something like a source, perhaps it's a travel agency for example, and you can type some free notes in there. So we press the green tick again, and there is Mary. Leading up to the event, Mary might phone in and say, I'm running a little bit late, I'm going to be later tonight, what time is the restaurant open? But we know that she's confirming her booking, so we can click on there and we can go down to confirm, and now we can see that these are confirmed bookings and these are not confirmed bookings. Even though it's still a few days until the actual booking, we can still post charges to the room, which is quite good. And a good example of that is people like to do things like perhaps order some flowers. So we want to post a charge to a room, then we can do that. And we can also take a payment even though they haven't checked in, and that would be used for places that would like to take a deposit for a stay. Now we have Mary's booking, we can do some other options as well. So Mary might phone in, she may want to change her arrival or departure date. She may say, oh, does my room have a view? And it doesn't, so we might want to change the room. So again, we can move her to a different room. We can edit the reservation, and we can even cancel the reservation as well. The nice thing about cancelling a reservation is it will ask you for a reason why that cancellation is, and again you can have a list of different reasons that you've chosen yourself here. A good one would be perhaps they found a cheaper hotel accommodation closer by, and obviously that can be used for market research. Again, you can type some notes in there, so we can cancel that reservation and it's gone. Okay, so that was making a reservation and changing or editing a reservation. On the left hand side here we can see all our different rooms. These room names can be changed and edited, of course, and you can also see a colour scheme as well. And this colour scheme indicates the room status, and green means that it's been cleaned and it has been inspected. Blue means that it has just been cleaned but not inspected. And if we had a dirty room, I can change it here by clicking on the circle, and I can say that that room is dirty. You can see that it's dirty. So don't forget that this is a multiple user application, so housekeeping can log into the system and they can change and say we've been into there and it is now clean but obviously needs inspecting. The hotel manager or the housekeeping manager can then go into it and they can say, yeah, I've inspected that room and it's absolutely fine. So that's a great feature. You can see there's also other options available for that room extension. So we can click in there and we can say block all calls, allow local calls, national, international calls. We can even block room to room calls or allow those. And this is where we can set the do not disturb. So perhaps that guest has just come off a long flight and they want to go to sleep and they don't want to be disturbed. We can set that phone to DND. Okay, so let's look at some things that we can do for a guest that is checked in. The most obvious one would probably be to post a charge to the room. So we can click on the guest, we can go down to post a charge, and then we can choose which kind of charge it is. So the product group could be beverages, food, phone calls, wines, bar treatment, services, etc. I'm going to choose alcoholic beverage there, and it will drop down the next list of available items to choose from there. Perhaps it's a Foster's or even a craft ale, and you can see the price has changed accordingly. And if we wanted to, we can put the quantity in there in the description, and we press OK, and that is now posted a charge onto that bill. So when Mr. Harrison comes to check out now, we can show you how to check out. So I click on there and we can say checking out Mr. Harrison, no problem. And we go to check out, and straight away it says you can't check that guest out because the folio has not been balanced. There's still £100 and 60p are open. Please post a payment. So that's obviously the room charge and that beer that we put on the bill. So we need to go down to there and we need to take a payment from the guest. We can choose the payment method here, and we can say that he's paying on cash, or perhaps he's paying Visa here, and I press OK. We can now allow me to check out that guest. We can go to checkout. Again, pops up and it says, well, hang on a minute, the invoice hasn't been printed. Would you like to print an invoice? Absolutely, of course we do. So we click on there and instantly it generates a PDF invoice for us. Obviously, this area here can be configured bespoke by the hotel, and you can see the charges there. You can obviously change the tax code as well within the system. So, brilliant feature. Okay, so that's generating an invoice or bill for the customer. One last thing I'd like to show you, which is an obvious feature within InHotel, is to set up a wake-up call. And to do that, we go back to the main screen, and it's within our guest services. So we go to guest list, and there we are. We have an overview of InHotels. We can see everyone who has a reservation. We can see arrivals today, in-house guests, departures, and so forth. So we obviously want to offer some guest services. So we go here to our guests. We can see our guests that are checked in. So if I'd like to do perhaps a wake-up call for Mr. Terry Smith, we can click on there. We can see he's staying 2 nights. He's in room 204. We can see his contact details. If I click on there, I can also go and look at his bill. I can set a message which will flash the light on his phone. He would then ask why his phone is flashing, and we can read off the message to him. That will also appear on the calendar view. And here's how to make a wake-up call. Click on wake-up call. New call, obviously set the time and date. You can select how long you want it to run for. Obviously it'll only run for 2 days because he's only got 2 nights stay with us. So I can set it like that and press OK, and we've set the wake up call. Let's go back to the home page and let's look at some pricing. So pricing is very easy. Here I am in Profix CPQ. Quite simply, it's an onboard application. It's an in-app. So we click on onboard apps. There it is down here, InHotel. We tick the InHotel, and quite simply we put the number of rooms that you want in there, 15 rooms in there, and I press configure, and you can see that it will configure the price for you there. So it automatically includes the hotel working license which you need. It obviously gives you the InHotel license for the application itself. It's worked out, even though we put 15, that you need a 16 room license because we go up in increments of 4, and you'll also need the PMS license as well that's sold as part of the hotel licensing. So it works it all out there for you. Let's jump back onto the presentation now and look at some available material for you. So lots of great information for you. We have the InHotel brochure. We have 7 reasons why to choose InHotel. So send that to the hotelier. And there's also an InHotel info sheet. That's available on the NEC website and of course on NEC BusinessNet. Also on the website and on BusinessNet, we have a load of resource here. You can see all the different brochures for different size hotels. Lots and lots and lots of case studies here, which is great because NEC is so big in hospitality. And that just leaves me to say thank you very much for your time. Please, any questions, any suggestions, please reach out to NEC or your NEC distributor. Thank you.